You know, you can be black and premium. You know, it's all about surviving the stereotype about how people see black people, i.e. he's got to be a rapper, an athlete or a football player.
Right.
They don't see us as anything else.
As much as you may need passion to start a business, you can't do it alone on passion.
Mr. Wilfred Emmanuel-Jones for services to British farming.
And there's one thing that I'm grateful for that I learned pretty earlier on in my business is that you need to do your research and you need to do your planning. And you need to challenge yourself. And the only way to challenge yourself is through planning and through research to see whether your ideas stick up. And all too often people are not prepared to do that, but you must, because if you don't, that is a recipe for failure.
He's one of Britain's top sausage makers and food producers. He is the black farmer himself, Wilfred Emmanuel-Jones. And let me tell you, there are absolutely no porkies in this story today. Well, Wilfred, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Introduction. What an introduction.
It's in the best.
And planning and research becomes more and more important because you go from being one of the small boys that everybody, has a little fondness for until you start playing with the big boys. And when you start playing with the big boys, they have very, very strong rules about what you can and you can't do. And so you need to be able to speak their language. You need to understand their processes. So planning and research is key at that level.
What's going on, guys? I'm back in Brixton for a special interview, and I'm here with my friend Karol, and she's the one that helped set this up. So make sure you contact her. She can really help you out when you come to London, show you around, especially Brixton. But we're here with a very special person from London, Mr. Wilfred himself, Mr. the Black Farmer himself, here.
Well, thank you very much for coming to our shop all the way from the US. You don't know how proud that makes me feel.
Oh, listen, man. Ever since we found this place, thanks to her,
yeah,
we have been wanting to meet the person and finally get to know you and your history and basically what you got going on. But for the purpose of this video, can you show us around?
That's right, yeah, I'm gladly show you around. So if you're happy to walk backwards,
okay,
and then
let's go.
I could then tell these wonderful people what we actually have here. So the whole idea behind this concept is an urban farm shop, because in the UK there's lots of farm shops around, but they tend to be farm shops that are in rural environments. And so what I wanted to try and do is to bring that sort of feeling here, right in the heart of urban Britain. And I wanted my first farm shop to be here in Brixton. And so the idea is to roll out a number of places like this. And what I want is that for the community to have a real experience, because all too often when people are going out buying things, it's quite transactional. And I just think that the age that we live in, which this digitalized age that we live in, makes things more convenient, but doesn't necessarily make things more friendly, more personal. And that's why when people come here to the Black Farmer Farm Shop, I want them to feel as though they've actually come into an environment that is just nice. It's a place where you want to come and spend some time. So I know that I'm talking a lot, but hopefully you're getting a chance to see what this actual farm shop looks like. And then down here, you see what we have is that we have some wonderful plants, because I want to get that feeling of sort of countryside sort of freshness here.
Right.
So we've got lots of plants here. And then what's lovely is that people can come here and actually work from home. And so I like when I see people sitting down on their computers working away. That makes me feel really good. You can't get a better environment like that. So this is just a very quick tour of what it's like at the Black Farmer Farm Shop.
This is the first one.
This is the first one, yes. And then we are opening another one in about a month's time at White City, the television centre White City. So that again,
awesome.
I'm really looking forward to that. And then I also went to have a look at another site this week in the Canary Wharf. So the idea is that you're going to have Black Farmer Farm shops in all these urban environments, and it's going to be like going into a Black Selfridges. That's the whole idea behind it.
What really got my interest about who you were was this hallway right here.
Okay.
It's a hallway where you honor those
Exactly.
pioneers of the Windrush generation.
Yes.
How about yourself?
Well, it's really interesting that you sort of highlighted these, yes, because I think it's very, very important, especially for a place like this, for people to actually come and read about some of the fantastic things that people like my parents did, because I was born in Jamaica, and I was born in a place called Frankville, Clarendon, which is a very, very rural part of the island, and I was brought up in Small Heath in Birmingham. And my father had an allotment, and it was my job as the oldest boy to look after this allotment. And I can remember from the age of 11 that I decided that one day I would like to own my own farm, because I liked the whole tranquility of being in a farming environment. And it took me about 35 years to get into the position to buy my own farm, because I think once you own land, you're then rooted into the country that you're living in. You don't really feel as though you're in transit. And so that's why being able to stick a stake in the ground and say, this is my part of England, was quite an important thing for me.
Right.
Was it because you were here?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, yes, carry on.
Could you describe the process of how you first got started in owning land, farming, and some of the adversities you had to go through as I guess being born in Jamaica but starting something here in the UK?
Well, I think one of the challenges that we have in this country is that owning land is very, very difficult. Most of the farmers in this country, they've never had to go out and buy land. It's always handed down through the generations.
Wow.
So if you are from an immigrant background, just to get land is almost impossible because it's too expensive. So what we need to try and do in this country is bring that sort of balance about, because the food and farming industry is one of the least diverse industries in this country, and it's unacceptable. And one of the things that I've been advocating for a very long time is that when you look at some of these big landowners in this country, and so people like the Church of England, the National Trust, own vast swathes of land, and what all they do is rent it out to the traditional farming families. And I think the only way you're going to get some diversity in the rural Britain is by giving people from diverse backgrounds an opportunity to get access to land. That is a key thing that we need to do. So those big organisations that own land, part of their remit should be going out, reaching out to people from non-traditional farming backgrounds and offering them the opportunity to get access to land. In my case, I was pretty lucky because in the greater scheme of things, I've only got 30 acres, which is nothing. But even to get that, I had to get quite a lot of money to sort of do that. And you can't really sustain yourself just farming. I mean, what I do in terms of my operations is that actually how I get a lot of people involved and working with different manufacturers and suppliers. But what I say to people, especially in Brixton, look, you're spending your money. It's going into these people's pockets. And it is not acceptable that they really don't have a diversity agenda. And therefore, what you should be now doing is challenging the places that you spend your money to say, actually, what are you doing to contribute to diversity? And some of the big retailers, for example, that service these communities, they are the least diverse. And I would say to my diverse brethren, we should hold these organizations to account and say, actually, there's a lot more you could be doing for diversity.
At what age did you come here to the UK?
So I came here when I was 3 years old.
Right.
And so what happened back then, what was a lot of people from the Caribbean, when they had the opportunity to come here, my mom and dad came over here first, and then I was then left to be brought up by my relatives, and then I came to join them when I was about 4 years old.
Right.
And you can imagine what a culture shock that would have been, because have you spent your time living in an island, suddenly to come to this country? I remember arriving in the winter and it's freezing cold, seeing snow for the first time. It would have been a bit of a sort of culture shock. And so obviously it took me quite a long time to sort of readjust to all of that, basically. One of the things I always say to people is that if you want to really find out a lot about me, you should read my book, Jeopardy, the Danger of Playing
There you
Safe.
go.
Because it gives you an idea of actually what my route was from the start until now. And it's a bit of an extraordinary journey, even though I say it myself, because I was brought up in poverty. I'm from a family of 11 living in a 2-up, 2-down terrace house.
Wow.
So you may not know what that expression means in the US, but it's a very, very small house trying to for 11 people to live in, 3 to a bed. I went to school, left school without any qualifications. I'm dyslexic, so I had a terrible time at school. But the thing that I always say is this, and the thing that's carried me through all of my life, is that you have to have a dream. Now, one of the things about talking to a US audience is that they really understand the concept that actually, if you have the courage to dream, dreams are possible. In the UK, people tend to be a lot more cynical about that, really. And if you say you feel that you could punch above your weight and you could actually go and achieve great things, you don't tend to be congratulated for thinking like that. You tend to be trying to put down. So I have more of what I call the American way of that anything is sort of possible. But if anybody wants to take any advice from this, it is this: that anything is possible. You don't need any qualifications, doesn't matter the color of your skin, doesn't matter your background and education. Any successful person that you will ever meet will have 2 things. They'll have ruthless focus, and what I mean by ruthless focus is that they're able to get rid of the white noise of living. There's so much white noise that goes on in people's lives that actually they spend most of their time getting absorbed in things that really don't matter. And the only time that people tend to really understand that is when they're on death's door, when something's really tragic happening, and then actually life really becomes pretty focused. And then, so focus is the first thing, but actually, the most important thing to achieve anything that you want is that you need to have passion. And people are quite confused, so they don't really understand what I mean about passion. Well, the reason why passion is important is because passion is not rational, it's not logical, it defies common sense. And again, to try and explain it further to people, is that I say, look, have you ever seen somebody when they're in love, madly in love? They do crazy things. They do things that do not add up. They do things because they're driven by a passion.
Wow.
And that is what is the key. Because when you have passion, it helps you get over all the hurdles. It will drive you through. If you use reason and logic to make your decisions, you'll never start, because there'll be more things telling you not to do it rather than to do it. So that's a tip that I would give anybody, is that you need to have focus and you need to have passion.
You know, I'm just hearing you talk with so much conviction. I could just only imagine you getting this 30 acres of land and people are like, what does this guy think he's doing? And then from one step to the next, you're building it up to now we're here at this wonderful shop right here.
Yeah.
It's as if you went into a tunnel vision, passionate about your dream.
The thing about life is full of lots of adversity.
Right.
And again, it's a bit like the tools that I've had to help me through is that I'm an outsider. And so people will have to come to terms with the fact that if you ever want to achieve anything, you have to be comfortable being an outsider. Unfortunately, most people want to belong. If you want to belong, you're operating by other people's rules, other people's convictions. When you are doing your own thing, when you just want to do exactly what you want to do, you're on your own. And that is quite scary, because you don't have anybody to lean on. You've got to say, I'm going there. And most people are going to be telling you you're going in the wrong direction. Most people want to tell you that actually everything you're doing is wrong. And you have to have the conviction that you are going forward, and then eventually people will catch up with you. I've always had that sort of attitude. So it's a bit like when I launched the Black Farmer brand in this country. I'll tell you a story here. Is that I can remember when I said, right, I'm going to launch the Black Farmer brand, and I did all the classic stuff that people do, is that I went and did a lot of research, and all the research came back and said, do not call it the Black Farmer, because it will offend people, it will upset people, because in this country, people are very confused about what is the right sort of language to use when you're referring to people of color. It's very, very delicate. So in some parts of the country, they feel more comfortable referring to you and I as colored rather than black, because they think that's a lot more polite. And so having a brand like the Black Farmer is in your face. A lot of black people have felt that they've had to hide their blackness in order to get on. But a brand called the Black Farmer is very, very overtly in your face. And that's what I wanted to do. So when the research came back and says, do not call it the Black Farmer, this is a big lesson in life, and everybody should learn this lesson. And the lesson is this: all research could do is tell you what people were thinking yesterday, and they were very accurate in that. They could tell you what people are thinking today. They're very accurate in that. But they can't tell you what people are thinking tomorrow. And that's where you need to have your own convictions about, I am going to go this way, and that people will catch up. If you are following the trend, if you're following the research, you're already behind the curve. And that's the thing to do, to remember if you're trying to do something different. You know, a place like this in Brixton, all the conventional rules will be saying no, actually this is not the sort of stuff. But when you want to, you know, when you want to do something new, you have to be able to accept that there are no rules, there are no guidelines. All you have is your conviction.
Nice. Now, one of the things that caught me, and I'm glad you mentioned your brand, is when I came here and I saw this. When I saw this, you don't understand how happy I was to see this, because I was skeptical when I came here. I was like, no, it's not as professional. But then when I came here and I saw this, I said, who is this guy with the flag? And then sometimes you'll have this flag with the different color of
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
the Jamaican. Right here. And I said, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So how important is it to highlight that you have some Caribbean background?
Well, I mean, I think what I've been trying to do with the Black Farmer brand,
Right,
is to highlight the fact that, you know, you can be black and premium. So we regard ourselves as the black Selfridges. And it's a breaking the stereotype. I mean, the thing about being brought up in this country, you know, it's all about surviving the stereotype about how people see black people, i.e. he's got to be a rapper, an athlete, or a football player.
Right.
They don't see us as anything else. I mean, even Asian people are credited with more than we are. They're seen as being good in business. But when it comes to black, it's always seen as being a victim. And I've always wanted to challenge that sort of stereotype and actually say you could be black and do anything that you want. And so when you say you look around this sort of shop, it's very, very important that actually I did not want us to be seen as an ethnic brand, because what tends to happen is that you go into the mainstream supermarkets and they're put down in a little corner.
Right.
I wanted it to be a mainstream brand that anybody, black, white, Indians, could feel that they could be part of. And also the reason why it's got the British flag, because when I first launched, I didn't have the British flag. And people saying black farmer, they couldn't associate a black farmer being in the UK. They thought I was from South Africa or somewhere in Africa. It was so much in people's minds that black people don't farm in this country that I had to actually put the flag there so they didn't think that I was from another country.
It worked.
Yeah.
At least for me. I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, wow, this is a special place right here. And you know, not only that, I also see how you have been able to serve the community here.
Yeah, it's very, very important to be able to serve this sort of community here, because my success is their success. And I love the fact that when people come here, they feel as though, you know, I'm doing something actually to show black people in a good light. And so, you know, it's deliberately got a feel that actually you could come and spend time here.
Yeah, people are working online, doing video calls. I see there's people having conversations, and food is in the area.
Exactly, yes.
And it's a special moment. Coffee, people having conversations. It's like coming to a park.
Yeah.
But it's
so it's a really nice community space.
Let's talk about one of your newest products you have here.
What we like to do is that we live in an age where people want convenience.
Okay.
You know, they have busy lives and they want to come in and they want something convenient. So that's why these ready meals are quite important. And you'll see with these ready meals as well, they've got some good flavors, because when you go to the conventional, and look at these as well. You see these flavors of Windrush. These are the sort of stuff that
I love
people,
that. Flavors of the Windrush. Wow.
Most people from the Caribbean, they'll be used to having this sort of stuff. So that's why it's quite important. And then we also have some halal products as well. Because again,
awesome! Wow.
We understand that there's some people from the community that really like halal foods. But what I say, let me bring you over here.
Okay.
When people if they come here and they want to take something back with them that is representative of the brand, I say, right, come, you got to try these. And the reason why these are really, really important to me is this one here and this one here. When I first started,
right.
I could remember, this is now some 20 years ago, I was in my kitchen and I thought I want to make some sauces. and I made these sauces, and they were disaster to start off with. By putting them on the shelf, you know, they were exploding all over the place. So it took me a while to get them so they actually are stable. And I tell you what, these are absolutely delightful. So if you want something, let me put it right to the camera so you can see Black Farmer sauces. These are the things. This one, we've got 4 of these, and these are definitely my favorite products.
Let's check out some of the products here. What you like here?
I said, well, I can see some jerk chicken and Scotch bonnet.
Right here?
Crisp, yeah.
And then
oxtail. So,
oh wow, and this is potato chips?
yes,
All right.
be interesting.
So they also have this cafeteria here, guys. So a lot of people from the community come and get some food and enjoy. While they're working, they got the food right here.
Yeah.
All right. They got some goat here. More oxtail, just in case you want some oxtail. Here you go, guys. All right.
We've got your cod fillets.
What is it?
Cod fillets.
Cod fillets right there. All right, guys. I feel like this is a whole food store. In a way, to be honest with you, the type of quality food is not, you know. This is high quality stuff you got here, guys. Basically, so you're not coming here and getting some cheap stuff. You're gonna get some really good quality type of food here. All right. Greek goat cheese, you know what I'm saying? And of course, it's gonna have some patty here. You're gonna have some patty if you want to take something home. All right, that's cool. What's your name?
My name's Jerome.
Jerome, you live in the neighborhood here?
Well, I live in Croydon.
Okay, so what brings you to the Black Farmer Market here?
Well, I come to see my grandma. My grandma lives in Brixton.
Okay.
But I thought I'd come here, get some crisps, get a drink.
Show me what you're gonna get. Show me what you're gonna get. All right. Okay.
I tried a cherry one the other week.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you just coming here to hang out and sit down and relax?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down for about half an hour, get a bag of crisp, then go and see my grandma in a bit.
You like the area here?
Yeah, it's nice here, man. I bought some ginger.
It's just a good vibe
Yeah,
here.
I should have told you, got a bit of a cold, you know.
Okay,
I bought
gotcha.
some ginger. I'm gonna
Right.
blend it up.
Yeah.
You know, ginger's good for the cold.
Right,
ginger, lemon, lime.
Okay, let's see what type of chips he's gonna get too.
Yeah, jerk chicken. Let's get these.
Oh, you like that one, the jerk chicken chips?
Now, last time I came here, I tried this one, the prawn one.
Right. How was it?
It tastes like normal prawn one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I couldn't take the Scotch bonnet in it, but let's try the jerk one for a change.
Okay, cool.
So there's also an upstairs area, so let's go and check it out.
Let's go. Nice. Wow. I'm acting like this is my first time here, guys, but obviously I've been here before. But just to give you another perspective of why this place is so special, it's a special lounge, very relaxing area for people to come work.
You can get free water.
Free water.
I think these things for sale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. And it's just a special place in Brixton, honestly. And then you have, as you can see, people are working. And describe the music that you're hearing in the background.
It's quite holistic and calming.
Kind of like a spa-like.
Yeah, spa-like feel up here. You know, especially with the plants, the green plants. You know, the pine, the wood. It's got that natural type of country feel.
Right. What do you think? How important is this establishment for the Black community in the UK?
I think we need it, and we need places like this to say, rather than the usual traditional places that we go to, this is something quite different. So you can come up here, you can feel relaxed, you can have a tea or something to eat, you can charge your phone because there's plugs at each table, you can do your work up here. So if you want some working space, you can come up here. There's also internet that you can latch onto. So yeah, we need more places like this.
If you want to find out a bit more about me, one of the things I would actually highly recommend, even though it's my work, is this book here. Okay?
There it is.
And it's called Jeopardy, The Danger of Playing It Safe. And I think the biggest problem that most people have in their lives, they think playing it safe is going to make their lives worthwhile. If you play it safe, you're living in survival mode. what existence is there if all you're doing is surviving? You know, life is about living, not surviving.
All right, guys, there you go. I'm gonna put more of his information in the description. Can we buy this online?
Yeah. Just go back to them.
I'm gonna put the information in the description. Go check out this man, support him, and most definitely, when you come to London, look for the Black Farmer. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you showing me this place. All right. Thank you. All right. And also, guys, when you come in town and you need someone to show you around, Karol. Okay, Karol got you. Her information will be in the description. If you got questions, I know you ladies be like, Ace, I'm coming in town.
Yeah.
She got you, okay? And especially if you want to come around Brixton, she can tell you where to go, the nice spots, as far as culturally, cool places like this, the places to hang out at night. You will have a great time. What do you want to say, Karol?
Yeah, so if you want to come and see Brixton and you want to come around to the local spots, come and see me, okay? My details will be at the end in the description.
There you go. All right, guys, thanks for watching More on the Way from your boy. I'm in London. I don't know where I'm going next. I might still be here. I might be somewhere else in London or UK. Watch some other videos of mine, and that'll be next here somewhere. And I'll see you in the next video. Yo.